What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. We're here for today for part 2 of our flashback rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. We've played through year 1, which was the 09 season, and we won the Super Bowl. And how we won the Super Bowl was spectacular. We were last place in the division, 3-4, I think. Pulled Donovan McNabb as our starting quarterback. Went with Michael Vick. Michael Vick went 9-7, was elite in the playoffs, and helped win our first Super Bowl in franchise history. So we went through the draft. We're now here at pick 32, first round, 2010 draft. I left with big question, do we get Antonio Brown? Because we desperately need a wide receiver. I literally only have 2 wide receivers on the roster. And you look at the available wide receivers, obviously I'm not going to spend a first round pick on a guy that we know that's a red. And you're looking like, all right, well, Golden Tate would be dope. Get Golden Tate. I've used him in a rebuild before. It's like, all right, use Emmanuel Sanders. I've used him in a rebuild before. So we're at a point in time where this kind of makes sense as the pick. And I said, if it sounds too cheesy, I won't do it. If too many people say, do not get Antonio Brown, that's lame, you're just doing it because you're the Eagles, I would not do it. And no one really objected to me drafting Antonio Brown. But the number one question, the number one response was not about that draft pick. It was about our quarterback under center, Michael Vick, because he's a righty. We had him as a right-handed quarterback. Michael Vick is a left-handed quarterback. Here, let me lay it down to you, because I'm glad that I got called out on it, because I was secretly very confused. Because here's what happens. 85% of my videos, I record them during the day when my kid's at school, my girlfriend's at work, and I'm trying to be professional. But every now and again, once a kid goes to bed, I participate in some extracurriculars, and every now and again, I'll be like, you know what, I'm bored, don't feel like playing like COD or anything like that. I want to play a little bit of Madden, get some content, work. And that's what happened during that first episode with the Eagles. And Michael Vick was a righty. And the first thing that I noticed when I hopped in for that gameplay with Michael Vick was, this doesn't feel right. I'm pretty sure he's a lefty. But the indica was very strong, and I was like paranoid. I was like, there's no way the guy that made this base roster would have messed this up. Like, Michael Vick must be a righty, and I'm just like very confused. Let's just stay with it. But my intuition, my gut was right. Because I just remember Michael Vick back when I actually played with Michael Vick on the Eagles, back in Madden 11, Madden 12, one of those years. I remember he was like, I was like, man, he's a lefty, because it was always, you always wanted to shift Deshaun Jackson to the other side of the field. I always just try to play with the fact that he was a lefty, and I had to, dictate and line up my lineup, my wide receivers in particular. Like, I remember I'd make Jerry Mack my 1, and I'd make Deshaun Jackson my 2, so he's always on that side of the field. So I'm glad that, we called him out. He's a lefty. It's rightfully so. I'm sober-minded. 100% he's a lefty. The other issue with Michael Vick, now that he's throwing the correct handedness, and it's going to be interesting to see how left-handed Michael Vick can compare to right-handed Michael Vick, is that he did not feel like Michael Vick. I know he's 30, QB regressions in Madden is what it is, but for Michael Vick to feel and play even remotely close to Michael Vick, even Michael Vick like near the end with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he needs a escape artist. We have Michael Vick as an 88 overall. Maybe we'd get 90 at the end of the season, but we're at that weird age of 30 where I don't know. But with the morale boost, we're currently a 90 overall, because he just literally was lights out and won this team a Super Bowl. So people in the comments were saying, just give him his ability. And it's not too cheesy. It's not like I'm taking an 84, 85 overall quarterback and boosting him up 5, 6, 7 spots. We have a guy that, morale-wise, is the place that we need him to get a special ability, even though he's a high 80s overall. So what I am going to do is kind of translate that +2 morale into his base rating. Now, to get escape artist, which is what Michael Vick absolutely needs to get, we need to have a 90 overall improviser. So I'm going to give him a lot of awareness points, because awareness is not going to be too crazy when it comes to like how is he actually going to play and feel. But we still need to get 1 point there. Trying to look at Michael Vick, his play action could be a little bit better. Maybe he's thrown to pressure, point or 2. There we go. Now he's 90 improviser. We just cashed in those 2 morale confidence points. I mean, now he's a 92, but at the beginning of the next season, I'm pretty sure all that stuff resets. I mean, look at that. He deserves it. He was the Super Bowl MVP, got the win, and here we're going to be able to now go into this, give him escape artist, and Michael Vick should feel and play like Michael Vick here in year 2. So now that we've done all that, we can focus on, I'm just going to do it on the draft. No one, like I made it clear, I called myself out. I said, if I was a person watching this, I would most likely be very cool with this because this is Antonio Brown. You're going to have to develop him. He's not just going to be Antonio Brown, one of the best wide receivers of the decade right out the gate. He's a 7th round, 6th, 7th round pick, whatever. But I would say that there's some validity to be like, oh, of course he uses the AB pick when he's the Eagles. And no one really called me out. No one really complained. So we're going to go with it because we desperately need a wide receiver. Because you look at our wide receiver room, we have Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, both young, both superstar devs, but literally our third wide receiver is 49 overall. So I have no, like, we absolutely need to make this pick. If this was an honest-to-God draft class in Madden, wide receiver is our biggest need, and if we would have had proper scouting for all these, I still would be seeing Antonio Brown here in the 7th round. If he wasn't AB, he was just, these were all generated players, I'd be like, this is a guy that we need to consider. We need to draft sooner than later. So to kind of punish myself and not waiting till 4th, 5th, 6th round to get AB, I will burn my 1st round pick on him so I can't spend that somewhere else to make our team better. Antonio Brown, welcome to the Philadelphia Eagles. 68 hidden dev. We can all assume that the dev trade's probably pretty good. Number 50 in true value, getting him at 32. Stats, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, only 80 catching, 91 agility, 86 jumping. Lots of work to be done to get him to be the AB that we know and, you know, kind of love and kind of hate. But I'm excited. He's going to be able to start in the slot day 1 for us. He's going to get a lot of targets. Very excited to see what he can do with Philadelphia. Will say the most common suggestion we did get was to draft Gronk. I didn't really want to trade up in the 2nd round. I knew we had a top 5 pick. We got that pick because we traded Donovan McNabb. I would have drafted Gronk if he was there. Fortunately, he went off the board, and I'm kind of glad because Gronk it's a fair pick. It's a realistic pick, but getting Gronk and Antonio Brown would be, you know, definitely trending in the cheesy direction, I suppose. So we're now here with pick 5 in the 2nd round as your defending Super Bowl champion. I'm looking at our team. Javid Best is a guy 100% as we continue the series. I'm going to want to get and try and just, you know, if he didn't have the injuries, I was a huge fan coming to Cal. I mean, he was so fast, such a great athlete. Hell, didn't he go to the Olympics for like sprinting or some shit like that? So that's legit. Maybe we can just draft Ed Dix. I think that's Ed Dixon, where literally no names. You know, Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham would be a great pick as well. Even though I don't want to keep acting like we absolutely need a tight end. We got Brent Selleck. He just got a star dev trait. It's not something that we have to burn right away. I do think this pick needs to go on the defensive side of the ball because now we have Antonio Brown at wide receiver. You look at the rest of the offense, you know, O-line's good. It's solid for the time being. Could use help at right tackle, but 79 for Stacey Andrews. He's 29. Still solid. We could probably get a year or 2 out of him. So we flip to the defense. Where we need to get better, D-tackle, D-end. Outside linebacker would be the areas I think. So D tackle, D end, outside linebacker that fits our scheme. Not an edge rusher outside linebacker. So looking at who's there, Jason Worlds, great combine, not really a good value pick for this early in the 2nd round. We do have Carlos Dunlap, who's a player that we definitely talked about. We do have Navarro Bowman, who also I'm just going to be what I would do if I was actually controlling the Eagles and I was an incredibly biased Gator fan and Carlos Dunlap was a man. Even though small tangent, little thing about Carlos Dunlap. He sat out, I think, like the final game of the season. I feel like it was our bowl game. Might have been the SC. He got suspended or something like that. He missed a very important game and I was a little bit upset with him, but I always was a huge fan. He's probably been my favorite player on the Bengals for quite some time. So I'm going to grab Carlos Dunlap here. 70 hidden dev, number 40 in true value, get him at 37. So 2 not great picks, graded out by Madden, but very happy to have him. And it'd be beautiful if we can get Navarro Bowman with our second round pick. But that's going to be late. The last pick in the 2nd round, I have my doubts. All right, defensive side, we're looking. Bowman would be nice. Maybe a D tackle that we can get. And according to the D tackles that are left at Corden. Geno Atkins, that's too much of a cheese pick. Like, again, I anything that like would kind of make sense but could be a little bit cheesy because we went with AB in the 1st round, I'm going to defect, you know. I don't want to have 8 superstar players in the, you know. I want this to be a little bit, oh, he's still there. See, I want this to be a little bit challenging, but if you're still going to have Navarro Bowman here, I'm going to pull that trigger. I low-key, dead-ass wanted Navarro Bowman. I didn't know what round he was going to go. I didn't know he was going to be the type of player that he eventually ended up being for the 49ers and being at his time like a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. But I always thought he was going to be solid. And I was like, all right, he played in Pennsylvania. Philly needed a linebacker at the time. Let's look at Navarro Bowman. Glad that we could bring him in. This is such a cheesy draft, though. But hey, he was still there. He was still there. I didn't trade up for him. It was just destiny that we could get Navarro Bowman, Carlos Dunlap, and Antonio Brown in the same draft. Now we're here, pick 5 in the 3rd round. Jimmy Graham is still there. You know, Atkins is still there. Don't feel like they're like super cheesy picks. You know what? I'll do this because this guy here was low-key, very underrated for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to get Walter Thurmond here. He was actually like, I remember like he's easily would make my short list of like the most underrated Eagles of the last 15 years. He was really, really solid for Philly. I'll draft him, and when we come back with our next pick, if Jimmy Graham's still there, if Geno Atkins is still there, I'll take it as a sign like the Navarro Bowman pick that it was destiny. So we got Walter Thurmond here. We're going to go all the way to the end of the 3rd round. That 3rd round pick, the first one was another part of that Donovan McNabb trade. So looking at tight end, he's no longer there. But Geno Atkins is. Told you. I'll make that pick if he's still there. 67, hidden dev, Geno Atkins. Let's go. So the rest of our draft recap, it was good. You know, obviously this is probably, maybe not the most OP draft we've had, but it's absolutely like top 5, top 3, especially for name value. AB, Carlos Dunlap, Navarro Bowman, Walter Thurmond. Oh man, he used to, like, I remember there's a story in Philly. He had like an alias when he played. He was doing some sort of intramural sport or something like that, and he had what was his alias? I'm gonna have to Google this live while we're doing this. Walter Thurmond alias. It was something funny. Dick Mahoney. Walter Thurmond played in Philadelphia a softball tournament named Dick Mahoney. So that's awesome. Thinking about changing his name to that. We got Geno Atkins. I got Jamar Chaney, who actually was a Philadelphia Eagle linebacker. He was solid for us. He was like kind of like borderline underrated. I got Trindon Holiday as a return man. Speed kills, and we're trying to get as much speed as possible to pair with Deshaun Jackson. I got Zoltan Mesko at punter, and I made Mr. Irrelevant, former Eagles backup, Mike Kafka. So I'm happy with it. Week 1, I want to play with Michael Vick. I want to play with all our new shiny toys. We're defending our Super Bowl championship. We're raising the banner with Dallas at Lincoln Financial Field. This is too good to pass up for not hopping into this first game. Here's how our team lines up. 84 over, so we're not super overpowered, especially our defense is lacking a little bit, but that offense, 91, we can put up points against anybody. Not a lot of changes. When you look at the offensive line, it remains the same, led by Jason Peters, 95 superstar, and Sean Andrews, 94 superstar. We got Selleck there, 79. Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, and Antonio Brown make up our wide receivers. I'm going LaShawn McCoy at RB2. Still going to use a lot of Brian Westbrook. He'll be our 3rd down back, but it's time to get LaShawn McCoy a lot more snaps so he can develop and reach his ceiling, which should be, you know, well into the 90s. Michael Vick now. Oh, I can't wait to play with him as a escape artist. It's going to be a little bit more better. Great English. Defensively, this is where the team lacks just a little bit. The D-line's not too shabby, led by 2 rookies, Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap. We also have Mike Patterson and Trent Cole. Asante Samuel, 96 superstar X-Factor at corner, as well as the veteran Sheldon Brown and Ellis Hobbs. That's solid. Nothing too bad to worry about. Jones and Quentin McKell make up our safety in him. Not too bad. And our linebacking core is solid. Sean Bradley, we got Will Witherspoon, and a rookie Navarro Bowman. So it's very clear that all of our prime rookies will be starting and have impacts, hopefully, as rookies as we look to defend our Super Bowl title. So without further ado, let's go in here, prime time against Dallas, and let's drop 78 points on them. Big 3rd down on our first drive. Good job so far from the Dallas defense. You know, they got DeMarcus Ware. They got some playmakers. Oh, this is what I want to see, though. Oh, look at how much faster he is. This should not be an ability. I still remain, while it's so fun to use now, get rid of Escape Artist in Madden 22, please. Oh, it's so... Like, literally, I was struggling. with Michael Vick in episode 1. Just giving him one ability. Make him 2 overall points better. I don't think it's the 99 awareness that makes Michael Vick play like Michael Vick, guys. I think it might be tied to just something that should be in the game. That's the last thing I'm going to say about that. I don't want this video to just be C4 complaints about escape routers and how it just kills the immersion for any scrambling quarterback. But that's it. Point made. All right, 3rd and 17. If yet to complete a pass. A little bit worried about that. Let's see what we can do here. Because the shot's wide open. Don't overthrow. That's beautiful. LFG. Man, credit to the Dallas defense. They're putting us in downs and distances that we don't really want to be in. But they're like, look, oh my. All right, R.I.P. Mike Vick. Thank God injuries are off. Okay, I was all right. Too comfortable with the scrambling. DeMarcus Ware with like a 30-yard sack. Oh, but he just got too much speed. Credit to 21 for keeping up, but just speed kills. Speed kills. I'm starting to get the feeling that my 95 overall tackle isn't really playing like a 95 overall tackle. Jason Peters having a bad game today. The 3rd and 3 of the 41. Fringe field goal range, just some yardage. Hey, be in the slot. Worst case scenario, should be able to get 3 to tie this game up. Hey, let's go, Deshaun Jackson, D-Jack, going through the stadium, because that's how unbelievably, I don't know. That's yeah, you know. That's how fast he is. He looks like it was an optical illusion. He was so fast, they just ran through half the stadium. What you do, Michael Vick keeps it. That's most likely the Dagger Eagles starting this year out 1-0 as they raise their Super Bowl banner. We go, Shady. Let's get Shady involved. Everyone else has had theirs except him today. Let's get him on the menu. Impressive victory, 28-17. Michael Vick, very effective, very accurate. Deshaun Jackson, over 100 yards. Let's go, man. Let's start this season. Let's defend our Super Bowl title. So for the 2010 season, coming out of the bye at week 10, we're 7-2. First place in the NFC. Everything's looking and feeling pretty good. Why does that X Factor logo look so pixelated? What's going on? Contracts. What do we got? We have a lot of money because we didn't spend any money in free agency. First up, we have a Sunday Samuel, who's absolutely worthy of a 1 year. Let's see if we can even give him a 2-year deal. Even I'll pay him a little bit more money. Brian Westbrook, this one's painful because I did say I want him to retire as an Eagle. We have so much salary cap, I'm not going to think twice about it, but he's clearly going to be our running back too. Sheldon Brown, one of my favorite Eagles of all time, one of the most underrated Eagles of all time. Let's see if we can give him a 1 year. He'll come back. Todd Father at left guard, underrated. Give him a 2 year till he's 29. It's a really good contract in terms of his age. Brent Selleck, another player, want him to be here, even though we have thought about improving the tight end spot. Brent Selleck's always easy and reliable. Stacey Andrews has been pretty bad from the game that I played. Enough so that I'm not impressed enough to give him a new contract. I think Stuart Bradley's solid. 3-year deal, very reasonable contract. I can pay him a little bit more money. Not going to pay him too much more. Axeman, Jeremiah Trotter, give him the 1 year respectable veteran deal, which he does take. So Stuart Bradley and Brian Westbrook, I will try to bring them back just from personal preferences, not necessarily for what they mean to the actual team in a Madden sense, but very much so with Asante Samuel. I'm going to try to hammer out a 2-year contract. And at the end of the 2010 season, we have punched our ticket to the playoffs, 11-5, our first NFC East title of the rebuild, which I'm pretty happy with. For our hidden devs, obviously it was a very stacked rookie class. We had Antonio Brown, who's a superstar dev, as kind of expected. And on the defensive side, Dunlap is star, which, I mean, he definitely could have pulled in a superstar. And we're still waiting to figure out what Geno Atkins is going to be. Obviously didn't play a whole lot. Ran a lot of sub packages. Navarro Bowman's also a star. These are, the dev traits are a little bit underwhelming. I thought Bowman for sure would. I was like, Dunlap, you know, most likely, probably star, could be superstar. Geno Atkins, most likely superstar, could be star. But I thought for sure Navarro Bowman almost certainly would have been a superstar linebacker. Only a star dev. Got a little bit of work to do from his dev trait. Luckily, he's an outside linebacker, so hopefully we get a little bit of that dev trait cheese. and get him up to a superstar where he rightfully belongs. So 11-5, not bad. I thought we might have had enough to punch our ticket as the 1 seed, but that belongs to the Chicago Bears. Oh my God, look at the offense. So 527, number 1 offense in the NFL, top 5 defense. Let's friggin' go. Number 1 offense, put up some godly numbers. We have an MVP candidate, Michael Vick, 4th in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, 4,600 passing yards, 41 touchdowns to 8 picks. So that's like, obviously better than what he was in real life for the Eagles when he was MVP candidate. Those are outstanding numbers. Also, he was able to chip in 5 rushing touchdowns, 266 rushing yards. So that's 46 total touchdowns. He probably should be the MVP. Just over 1,000 yards here for LaShawn McCoy, but 20 rushing touchdowns. Jesus. I mean, he did have a couple years for the Eagles when he was like in his prime, like 16, 17. The 20's not ridiculous. 600 yards there from Old Man Westbrook. On receiving standpoint, 76 catches, leading the team. Antonio Brown, slot sim cheese. It is what it is. But 1,100 yards, 9 tutties. 11 and 13 for Deshaun. Almost 11 and 10 for Jeremy Maclin. 8 and 6 for Brent Selleck. Really, everybody's numbers outside of the running backs from a receiving standpoint are very, very good, and I'm happy with it. Defensively, Stuart Bradley of the team, 123 tackles, 3.5 sacks. We got 10 sacks, Trent Cole. Ooh, Dunlap, a little bit underwhelming there, but he's going to grow. He's going to come along. 3 picks, 3-way tie between Asante Samuel, Ellis Hobbs, and Quentin McKell. We actually didn't have the number 1 offense in terms of yardage. Maybe we didn't get MVP. Yes, we did. Michael Vick is your 2010 NFL MVP, rightfully so. Absolute beast. Very happy to have him here. Don McNabb, I'm glad he's also working out for the Buffalo Bills. We get that 2 and a 3 and a future 2. I believe we have a 2nd-round pick this upcoming draft from that trade, and I'm glad that the Buffalo Bills are also happy with it as they have a guy that was an MVP candidate. We'll look at his stats in just 1 second. Offensive Player of the Year went to Michael Vick. Defensive Player of the Year went to E.J. Henderson. I don't think we're going to have anybody there. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to C.J. Spiller, the speedster out of Clemson. Antonio Brown, number 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Sean Witherspoon. Carlos Dunlap at 7. Best QB, Michael Vick. Best running back went to Adrian Peterson. LaShawn McCoy, runner-up there, number 2. Best wide receiver went to Mike Sims-Walker. What? Deshaun Jackson at 3. Antonio Brown at 8. Maclin at 9. Best lineman went to Sean Andrews. Jason Peters there at 2. Best D lineman, we have Trent Cole at 4. We had Hauschka as our kicker. All right, cool. Sure, why not? But Michael Vick is your MVP. Let's look at old Donovan McNabb. We traded him off. That's still a good year, man. I'm not going to dog him. It's clearly not as good as Michael Vick. But McNabb finished, 35, 4 total touchdowns. That ain't bad. Marshawn Lynch, of course, because his goddamn broken profanity filters. I made a statement on Twitter today. I put those asterisks in my Twitter name to try to raise awareness to the fact that this needs to get patched because it's ruining any custom franchise mode. So hopefully it gets fixed sooner than later. Again, I've told you, I have very limited avenues to try to get my voice and opinion heard on the state of Madden. That's outside of social media. And I did post it saying, hey, can we fix this? And I feel like I was left on red, unfortunately. But I would love to see that the next patch or something like that. It feels like such an easy fix for franchise mode. Hopefully it stops being an oversight. So either way, we got a nice little playoff run here. Let's start things off against the 10-6 San Francisco 49ers. All right, 2nd best offense in the NFL, top 5 defense, MVP Michael Vick. How is this going to be underwhelming? Let's figure out just how. Take your predictions right now. Pause the video and leave a comment about how this is going to be an underwhelming performance, because it's, we're due. We are leading, though. 2 touchdowns to a field goal in the first half, holding the Niners' deep offense to only field goals. I'm very happy with that. And we go into halftime up 14. 2 tutties. Maybe we're not going to be underwhelming. Maybe Michael Vick is just too damn strong, because Michael Vick was a beast in the sim for us last year, obviously on our way to win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, why would that change anything now that he's just a better player? Defense needs to hold on here. I don't know if we're going to be able to kill the game off with our offense. And, of course, they get the instant touchdown there. I didn't predict that. Did you guys predict the instant touchdown when we were up? I didn't. 3:12 left to go in overtime. Touchdown wins it for us. Field goal keeps the overtime going. Is this just going to be a tie? Are we going to be able to kick the walk-off field goal? That was a little too close for comfort. 400 yards on the game for Michael Vick, your MVP. They did a good job controlling LaShawn McCoy, controlling Deshaun Jackson. Macklin had a pretty good game there as the Eagles just scraped by in the wild card round to try to defend their Super Bowl title, but we're going on to the NFC Divisional. Division round, we got the Seattle Seahawks. They are like a 77 base team overall, so not very good. But I don't know if this will carry over from real life into Madden. I cannot tell you the last time Philadelphia actually beat Seattle. There's a team that has our number, and then they got Russell Wilson, who's, doesn't have Russell Wilson in this sim, but it would be nice to get a nice little dub here, as we are absolutely cooking. 21-7. Can we get 4 touchdowns in the first half, please? Fortunately, we can't. We're still up. 2-score lead, 2-score cushion. We're controlling the clock here. Not going to have Seattle. We're not going to give them a whole lot of opportunities to make up this ground here in the fourth quarter. Every time we get the ball, at least it's a long-term drive. It's not ending up with points. And this looks good, man. Kick the field goal, up 20. Seattle just hasn't been across midfield a whole lot in this game. Full kudos to our defense. Trent Cole, Asante Samuel, and company as the Eagles get the job done here, 34-7. No one really had an outrageous performance, but come on, Bruce Gradkowski, you got to be able to handle that if you want to try to defend your Super Bowl title. And just like that, we're in the NFC Championship game. All right, I like this. We're taking on the Chicago Bears Super Bowl Online. This is a Bears team that we're very familiar with. It's pretty much the exact same Bears team we rebuild. Jay Cutler, Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, all those guys, Tommy Harris. This is going to be a tough game. We wanted a challenge. This is going to be a challenge. At the end of the first quarter, Philadelphia has the 7-0 lead. And we get back-to-back tutties before Chicago can even cross the 50. But they get a touchdown, 14-7, 21-7, 21-14 at half. Both these teams looking good, both sides of the ball. But who's gonna when it all matters here in the fourth quarter, who's gonna show up? And the Bears offense showed up. 2:33 to go down. Come on, trying to defend it. We tie it up, 28 apiece. Our defense is looking fairly tired. 22 seconds left in the fourth. You might as well try it, right? Might as well try. You got Deshaun Jackson here. Elite speed. Jerry Macklin got 92+ speed. Who wants it? Oh, don't fumble it. Oh, we got no timeouts. No. Hey, I'll take that one. I'll take that L. The Bears are a very, very strong team. You can see Jay Cutler. You're not gonna be like, oh, we got cheese. Jay Cutler was outstanding. 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. We could not run the ball against their front. LaShawn McCoy only finishing with 24 yards on the game. Big game from Jeremy Macklin. Wish he would have been able to take that tutty to the house, because that was a tutty. He just got caught from behind. We crash and burn, man. No dynasty. But, hey, let's get whatever little adversity we can face with this stacked team. I guess it's a blessing in disguise, because it wouldn't be fun if we just got like 3 straight, 4 straight, 5 straight Super Bowls. At least now we have a little bit of a redemption arc for year 3 coming up. Gonna be a Bears-Ravens Super Bowl. A lot of defense, but I want to see if we have any dev trades, because our offense was so damn prolific. No dev trades? What? I'm gonna be interested to see Michael Vick's regression. I feel like if you win MVP, regardless of your age, you shouldn't regress. You should only progress. On the defensive side, Geno Atkins came out superstar dev. Will Witherspoon got the dev trade cheese. Would have rather that go to Navarro Bowman. Yeah. All right. Year-end awards. Like, that dude, man. Tommy Harris was so good. He was like low-key the MVP when we rebuild Flashback style the Chicago Bears. I'm happy to see him win the MVP. We can see Michael Vick got himself the old regular season MVP award. Congrats to the Bears. Appreciate it. I don't think we had anyone retire on the Eagles, did we? No one has retired. The regression would have set in if it was going to happen to Michael Vick. He was a 94 with a 2 morale. He is still a 94. Didn't regress. Happy with it. Let's get to free agency. Now, for free agency, we have a lot of money. $71 million, but I think this rebuild, it's always kind of what I'm thinking anyways. But this is a rebuild here where I really just want to keep as much money as humanly possible, because I want to re-sign everybody. I want Deshaun Jackson to get 2-3 contracts, Jeremy Macklin, LaShawn McCoy, on the defensive side, Antonio Brown, all these guys. And you're not going to be able to retain them if you keep dipping into free agency. Ooh, old man, ooh. we weren't loaded at running back, I would try to get that reunited there. Yeah, we're good. I'm going to save my money. This is a perfect opportunity to leave off the video, finish the video with a question over who we select with pick 30 in the 2011 NFL Draft. Team needs right tackle for sure. Absolutely need a right tackle. Maybe a wide receiver 4. I mean, I like Trendon Holiday. He's a nice option to have the great speed. So right tackle for sure is the biggest need on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, linebacker. Could use a linebacker because the depth traits there aren't great. And Witherspoon, even though he does have superstar, he is 31. Free safety, we could probably upgrade over Jones. Corner also wouldn't be bad to kind of future-proof the position. Asante Samuel is in his most likely final contract with the squad. So, offensively, tackle. Who is available at tackle that would be good? Nate Solder, absolutely. That is, see, this could be an interesting one. I don't need a center. I don't think I will not have enough restraint to draft Jason Kelce. But still, I won't get him in the first round. He might be my second round pick. So we do have Nate Solder at tackle, we can kick right over and make him a starter. Marcus Gilbert's also there, but Nate Solder does have that first round grade. Is it late? Yeah, it's late. That won't be bad. So Nate Solder makes a whole lot of sense. Linebacker, not seeing much there. Oh, Eagles legend Casey. How did Casey Matthews get a 2? 2 grade. He actually was a pick of the Eagles in this draft. He was not good at all. I'm not even going to tab that. At corner, still not getting any legitimate first rounders. My God, they butchered DeMarcus Van Dyke's name. But yeah, there's not much there. Corner at safety, Jaquan Jarrett was another Eagle pick from. This was not a great draft for the Eagles outside of Jason Kelce. Safety is not. I mean, this looks fairly obvious, fellas, that we should just grab Nate Solder. But I'll give you guys an opportunity in case you want to, persuade me to go elsewhere. Sure, but I think Nate Solder is going to make the most sense. And I'll tell you right now, second round, I'll probably burn the pick on Jason Kelce because he's a legend, man. He's an iconic Eagle, and I'm not going to pass him. And plus, even at center, Jamal Jackson, our starting center, what is he? He's like an 84, 83. But he's getting up there. He's getting a little bit long in the tooth. It's never too early to plan for his successor. And he is, 29, 30. Hell yeah, make him trade bait, something like that. We just can't let Jason Kelce slip through the cracks. So that's annoying that James Carpenter just went there, 76 right tackle out of Alabama to the Patriots, because he absolutely would have been on our board as well. But I'm leaning Nate Solder. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace